We are living in a South Park episode. I have the quotes right here. I got security pat down by a woman at the airport that made me feel very uncomfortable and left no doubt about her sexual preferences, said the 26-year-old top model blonde bombshell. Yeah, where else do pervs get to have jobs where they get to grab the genitals of movie stars and models? Where else do you get to grab Ron Paul's genitals? I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen tried that and it didn't work too well. Where else? It's illegal, it's pure bull, but it's a criminal revolution against us, we the people. Finally, here tonight, Obama targets technology and human rights abuses. Talk about a sickening, disgusting, ridiculous joke. CNN is reporting that he's putting out a new executive order to try to attack Coney. Can't get Congress to pass a law to freeze assets of anybody in Africa they claim's working with him? Well, just have Obama sign an executive order, and he sources Coney 2012, and the guy running around naked in the street is a great situation. And it authorizes sanctions and visa bans against anyone who commits or facilitates grave human rights abuses via information technology. And it goes on. It says that means governments that spy on people without warrants, but the U.S., of course, is exempt. These are people that admit they're spying on you illegally. It's a felony, but they don't care. They're saying now they're going to shut down and seize infrastructure and take over any private companies in the U.S. that they claim are working with Joseph Kony. I could be arrested tomorrow, and they could say that there's a PrisonPlanet.tv membership that Joseph Kony has. I mean, anything. This is all part of the out-of-control power grabbing of this criminal bureaucracy. The new Atrocities Prevention Board. Who needs Congress? We have a Rural Affairs Board. Who needs Congress for war? Obama just launches it with UN. The new Atrocities Prevention Board, will they stop all the atrocities our criminal government commits in Iraq and everywhere else? Will meet for the first time on Monday at the White House. Well, thank God they're there. Obama also announced he's expanding the work of American advisors in Uganda, helping pursue the Lord's Resistance Army and its leader, Joseph Kony. Oh, really? Off the Joseph Kony propaganda film. Told you that was coming. Who are accused of widespread atrocities. Let me look inside your Kony. Today, I can announce that our advisors will continue their efforts to bring this madman to justice and to save lives. Let's send al-Qaeda in to murder 40,000 in Libya and line blacks up and slaughter them. Kony hadn't been seen in like 6 years. They're just going to send in giant slaughter forces. The government of Uganda, under globalist backings, killed over 1 million people, and they got all the trendies hopping around. Oh, man, this country is in. So, whoa, we have got total scientific, psychological warfare control freaks running things. Continuing, though, I've got one more story. The Examiner reports White House, no White House staff involved in prostitution scandal. We didn't need the Justice Department, who shipped drugs in and guns out of the country and Fast and Furious, to check into that, or who hand out non-prosecutions on people like John Corzine to investigate that. No, the White House says it's investigated. There's no point in getting into the details of an internal review except to say that it was concluded by the White House lawyer. And that is the total transparency of these people. So there you go. White House said so. Oh, but one final little tidbit. The tens of billions given to GM of taxpayer money. I told you to move to Brazil, China, Eastern Europe. Well, it's going well. The vault's built in China now. And now Cadillacs, the Denver newspaper's reporting it, and also the Detroit News is reporting it. Well, it's being reported everywhere. GM to build 2013 Cadillac XTS in China this year. And hey, it's one thing if GM wants to move there, but when it's government run and with your tax money, you're paying to have your job shipped out. Isn't that just special? And it's just going to get better. And by the way, you're going to pay for those national parks. You don't get to go swimming at them, you piece of trash. And to fly there, oh, your wife's only been touched by you the last 20 years? There's a potbelly who couldn't get a woman that their life depended on. He's going to be going down the panties right now. And the troops are going to breathe some DU and die real good, too, because good people run the country. And I apologize that I've ever talked bad about our loving government. It's good people. It's good, people. Let me give you a daily quote. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Mark Twain, that's right. Words give meaning to action, and we are all about action, and we have moved mountains here with your help and your focus. We'll come back with somebody else who's had action. We are destroying the fascist fake greenies as the degenerate slime they are, and there's been a giant event as big as the Copenhagen situation going down and the ClimateGate emails coming out, and we're going to talk to Mark Moreno, one of our favorite guests, straight ahead, right here on the INFOWARS Nightly News. Transmission will continue.
Coming up, breaking news from Mark Moreno as the rats are fleeing the ship on the INFOWARS Nightly News.
I just want to talk to everybody for a minute about CISPA. This is getting ready to go to the House next week to be voted on, and there's a reason we should all be really concerned about this. It basically would nullify our privacy rights to our information on the internet in a whole bunch of different ways. It's going to go in and say that the government and the military can see your information, share your information with companies. Companies can share with them. Everybody can just spread that all around without a court order. So it used to be where they would actually have to follow an oversight chain of command on that. Now, basically, they wouldn't need it, because if what you're doing is somehow deemed a cyber threat, then they can just have your information. It's broad and it's vague, but even with that being said, having read through this a couple times, I keep getting stuck on this one point. Quote, including information pertaining to the protection of a system or network from A, efforts to degrade. So what's degrade? What do you have to do to degrade a system or network? If I sit here right now and I tell you Facebook is a sucky corporation, and basically they have an abysmal track record of protecting their users' privacy, their information. There's all kinds of articles out there about if you upload anything to Facebook and then you sign the user agreement, they can use your pictures for advertising and it becomes their sole property or whatever.
Okay, well, who's buying these products? Who's buying our university products anymore? Who's employing these people? About the only employer I see of the standard American graduate is the government.
Again, you're assuming that a persuasive argument is brainwashing. Brainwashing involves specific techniques of the manipulation.
Okay, well, okay, good. Well, you're the expert. What is brainwashing then?
Okay, you can't. You don't have facts. You don't even have the theory that well, but you don't have the data. You don't have the facts.
As far as what?
As far as anything you've said, anything.
What I said was that this seemed reminiscent of a communist-style propaganda poster, and that a liberal arts degree equals a brainwashed certificate minus $80,000.
One of the things that's involved in brainwashing, classic, North Korea was where the term first came, prisoners coming back from North Korea, is that what you do, and it's the only way you could do it, okay, you isolate people, you keep them in a constant state of heightened anxiety. Okay. And one of the ways you do that is you isolate them. I mean, you physically isolate them. Human beings cannot survive emotionally in isolation.
Welcome to InfoWars. I'm Kyle Phillips. Today we're going to be talking about a specific issue, which is the military doing training exercises in big cities across the United States. The reason I'm bringing this up today is because over the course of this week in Chicago, they're going to be doing some military exercises in Chicago using Black Hawk helicopters and who knows what else. And this is not the first time this has happened. They've done this many times. They did this a few years ago in Chicago where they had Polish troops training to take down, sovereign citizens and things like that. And, why is this such a big issue? Why do we care if the military is training in our cities? Well, first of all, I don't think this was a training exercise, especially in this specific instance. If you're going to fly 3 Black Hawk helicopters through the middle of the downtown loop, around buildings and stuff, you're going to tell people. People are going to freak out about that, and you know they're going to freak out about that. They're going to think there's a terrorist attack happening. They're not sure if a building's about to fall on them. You're putting people into panic, and you're doing it on purpose. They should have told, if this was a military exercise, they should have and would have told people about it ahead of time.
Basically having a tantrum. Isn't it strange, though, how parents are expected to control their children without handcuffing them? I mean, if a parent put flex cuffs on their 6-year-old, they'd probably have their child taken away for child abuse, but somehow it's okay for the school and the police to do that. And this is only one example. 10 disgusting examples of very young school children being arrested, handcuffed, and brutalized by police. And what are they being arrested for? Things like giving another student a wedgie, burping in gym class, spraying perfume on yourself, throwing paper airplanes, sassing off to the teacher, really just about anything. And by the way, this isn't the only way in which teachers are going too far. This also came up recently. Public schools in action. Teacher refuses to let kindergartner use bathroom during test. Teacher makes her sit in her own excrement, gives her trash bag to wrap around herself afterward.
In 1946, the U.S. government started the weapons testing, and it ended up going on until 1958. And in 1946, they went to the people of bikini. This is where we get the bikini from, because the French designer who designed the bikini thought that it would inflame the passions of men like the atom bomb. So tasteful, isn't it? Isn't it how you just shove it right in your face? Always been doing it. Notice also SpongeBob is from Bikini Bottom. Why do you think SpongeBob's from Bikini Bottom? Because where are you going to find a talking sponge? Somewhere that's been irradiated, like the Marshall Islands. So they went to them and they said, look, we have this power to do this. These bombs were dropped in Japan. We want to study this power so that we can harness it, use it for the good of mankind. And it's the same line that to everybody, right? Having these weapons is going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to bring peace. It's good. It's good. It's so good. So they told the Marshallese people that, and a 99% Christian country, naturally they wanted to do something that would be for the good of mankind, and so they agreed. They were removed from their islands. They were never told exactly what was going to be going on. They didn't tell them how many tests they were going to do, how long they were going to be removed from their land, or that, hey, this stuff's going to be around forever, and you're probably not going to be able to go to your land for a really long time. And the people of Bikini still can't go to their land. So they agreed to it. They started dropping bombs.
In under 10 minutes, I will show you my never-before-seen analysis of the Robert F. Kennedy assassination. Operatives who funneled RFK into a predetermined kill zone. Photographic evidence puts 3 senior CIA operatives at the scene of Robert F. Kennedy's assassination.
Moments after the shooting, Agent Number 2, Gordon Campbell, walks from the direction of the pantry with a small container in his hand. Here is Agent 1 again, David Morales. Here, Agent 2, Gordon Campbell, stands in the ballroom hours before the shooting with a third agent. Bradley Ayres worked with these men at JM Wave and first confirmed my identification of Morales.
Hello friends, and welcome to the INFOWARS Nightly News. My name is Samuel DeGangi. You guys know me as Sam I.B. DeGangi. I did not know that you were allowed to enter more than one video in this, or I would have